I wanted to shoot a video that filled in some of the gaps between the last video I shot at my reunion, which was before the bus got back to the hotel, to the video that I decided I was going to start making here today, which is the next video in line, and that's a video I shot yesterday at Donnie Erickson's house. A little bit has happened between those times. When I left the reunion, I drove into West Virginia. I had found out that there was a casino up there, and I figured I could park there and be fine overnight kind of stuff. As I was driving up there, it was very warm in Newport News, and I found out that my AC wasn't working properly on my drive into the casino in West Virginia. That was about 200 miles. And consequently, I found out that it wasn't my AC that wasn't working right. It was the generator wasn't producing electricity properly. I found that when I got to the casino. I had a chance to kind of troubleshoot. And what I found was the generator was surging, and it was producing electricity in a kind of a surging pattern. So I turned the AC on, I turned the generator on, turned the AC on. It would come on, and it would run for 10 or 15, 20 seconds. And then the only way I can tell about how the AC is running is by listening to the fan. Well, the fan blows loudly when it's running at full blast, and then the fan would quiet down and almost go off. And then it would come back up again, and it would go down again, and it would come back up again. And that would happen maybe a minute. And then finally it would go down, and the AC would shut off. The generator was running, it kept running, it just wasn't producing the electricity like it had been in the past. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I tried to flip all of the breakers and all of that sort of stuff. Nothing worked to make it work the way it was working before. So I determined that, well, that wasn't a good situation, because it was the heat index down in Virginia while I was there was 105 to 110 degrees. The temperature outside was 94 to 98 degrees every day. And while I was at the campground in Newport News, it was fine, because I could run both of my air conditioners, and they worked enough to keep me cool, keep my rig cool while I was plugged in to shore power. So I decided that I would get on the road, and it was about I guess somewhere around, it was in the middle of the afternoon, and I did. I got on the road. I got out onto 81, Interstate 81, and I started going north on Interstate 81, and I pulled into a rest area in the early evening, probably around 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock. The sun was just going down, and it was reasonable temperature by that time. I will tell you that the transition into the mountainous area in West Virginia, it made a difference in the temperature. Instead of it being 95, it was down, in the upper 80s. And it was coming on nighttime, and I was getting a little tired. I'd already driven 250 or so, 300 miles. So I stopped, I had something to eat, and I decided to lie down. It was probably at the time when I laid down, it was just coming in the darkness outside, or just before that, and the temperature was probably in the low 80s at the time. I laid down and I did fall asleep. and I ended up sleeping until about 3 o'clock in the morning on. And Tuesday, as I got on the road, I began to drive, and sometime during that time I decided I was going to go for it. So I drove until I got to Donnie Erickson's house on Tuesday afternoon around 5 o'clock at night. So 14 hours worth of driving, and I showed up at Donnie's house. The roads were all pretty good. The roads that I took actually got onto the Mass Pike for a few exits, and drove until I get into Palma. Got off in Palma, and that was Route 32. And Route 32 takes you right from where I got off the exit there right into, because the temperatures, since I have been here in New England, I'm running the heat right now, as a matter of fact. The temperatures here in New England have been wonderful. Daytime temperatures, upper 60s, and one day it was like 67, 68, and most of the time it's been in the middle 70s, so it's beautiful. And overnight I used a quilt last night. I got up in the middle of the night and put a quilt on the bed. It's been cool. I think it was in the 40s here this morning, upper 40s, 47, 48, 49, something like that here in Peterborough this morning. Well, it is Saturday the 29th of July. It's a cool, cloudy, windy day in Barre, Massachusetts, and I am at my buddy Donnie's place, Donnie Erickson's house, and he has allowed me to come in here and camp for a few days here now. I've been here since Tuesday. My plan is to park here and use this as a home base, basically. I am going to come back here after I go over to Brenda's house and up to Tony's place. A couple weeks from now, I'll probably be back here parked in the same spot, in the same area. Although he has, he's putting together an area down near the road down there. He has a turnaround down that way. He's putting together an area that I'll be able to have 30 amp service down there, as opposed to the 110 amp service I got here. Anyhow, I wanted to make a video because I haven't made a video here in a few days. I got way behind with the videos that I had from the reunion, and I just got finished dealing with them, making movies out of them. I have a couple more to upload to YouTube. I uploaded, I think, 5 of them already, and so I wanted to, this has been a few days since I made a video, and I wanted to do that now, and to get one started for today. I'm going to Brenda's house here in about an hour. I'm going to leave. I'll back out of this spot and head down the road, go to Peterborough, New Hampshire, go to Brenda's house and spend a few days there. We're going to go camping. We're going to go out to Maine, and then I'll spend another day or two, 3 at Brenda's house, and then I'll go out to see Tony, and then I'll come back here. Hopefully when I come back here I can see Joe. I'm sorry that didn't work out, to see Joe before, but there's Donnie in the window. All right. right, I'm going inside the house here.
Still got the thing going?
I haven't made a video in a few days.
Oh.
And so I decided that I better make one, you know, at least tell my viewers.
Your viewers? Did you take him around the...
No, I didn't do any of that. There'll be time for that later. I just wanted, I hadn't done anything with a video until, since I left my, my reunion, and consequently, I wanted to get something so I could